Dear students, today we are going to discuss some very important aspects connected with your career. You must be knowing that everything is being automated nowadays, and placement of the people in any organization is not an exception. Yes, nowadays for a single job, thousands and thousands of applications can be expected. Particularly the multinational companies and all the companies of repute, wheresoever they are in India or abroad, most of the organizations are going for automation in the sense that they are using technology to go through the resume of the people. It is not done by everybody, by the HRs in person. So what they have done is they have adopted a software for that, ATS. Before a human sees your resume, you need to understand a machine is going to have a look at it. How does it work? That machine is called an Applicant Tracking System or ATS. How does it work? It scans your resume. It applies OCR to that. OCR converts the text into readable words. It compares those readable words with the words used in job description and the best match they look for. So the entire strength of ATS lies in collection of the keywords. So before a human sees your resume, a machine is going to read it, and that machine is called an Application Tracking System or ATS. Moving ahead, we need to understand that if your resume is not ATS friendly, it may never reach the HR of the company. Okay? It may be rejected within seconds. Even if you are technically strong, you might not get shortlisted. Just note that. So remember this clearly, ATS does not judge your potential, it judges your formatting and keywords which you have used in your resume. So what is the golden rule? The golden rule of an ATS resume is simplicity beats style. Just do not go for any style. Do not adopt stylist methods. Do not have a look at your resume with an objective that, okay, it is not looking decent enough, so let me make some, let me add some images to that, or maybe let me use some very different fonts into that of my liking. Do not do that. So you are supposed to avoid fancy designs, tables and columns, text boxes, icons and logos. Photos are not supposed to be used unless and until they have been categorically asked for. Well, to do this, you can use a clean layout, one column format, standard fonts like Arial, Calibri, Times New Roman. This is really very important. Just do not use fancy fonts for that. Just do not use very large size fonts for that. Font size is supposed to be from 10.5 to 12, and your resume is not a poster, it is a data document. Always keep this in mind. So the structure of an ATS friendly resume is shown here, and you have to categorically observe that this is followed in exact logical order. You have to start with header, followed by career objective, then you have to mention the details about your education, technical skills, projects, internships and trainings, certifications and achievements or activities, if at all there is something to be added by you. So the first one is header. Your header should not contain anything superfluous which is not required. Just mention your full name, your phone number, professional email ID, and LinkedIn or GitHub details, if at all they are relevant. And please ensure that yes, you create your presence on LinkedIn and GitHub. You need to avoid emails like, well, coolboys123@gmail.com. Those fancy types of things, email addresses are not looked at gracefully. They show your immaturity. So be a professional and don't use emails like that. Create a sensible email ID which you could be used, you could use in the organizations. For example, it is likely to contain your first name dot last name at the rate of blah blah blah, whatever it is. Why not gmail.com? So the next one is career objective. It has to be short and targeted. This is where ATS starts matching keywords. So you have to be very careful about it. And well, a weak form is, I want to work in a reputed company to grow my career. This kind of opening statements or your career objectives are not looked at with respect. ATS-friendly objective could be something like that. A motivated BTech computer science student with knowledge of Python, SQL, and data structures seeking an entry-level software development role to apply problem solving and programming skills. So everything is technically oriented over here. It shows that yes, you are, whatever you are saying, whatever you are talking about is strongly connected with the technology. The next one which you are going to do, the next step in your resume is supposed to be about your education. Be clear and consistent. I mentioned about the degree, the branch, the institute with which you are connected or the university, and the year of passing. And don't forget to mention CGPA or percentage. ATS looks for a degree and graduation year, so don't try to hide them. The next one is technical skills. This is the heart of an ATS resume, as I have mentioned there. Create clear-cut subsections, divide it into programming languages, tools and technologies, mention about the databases, whatever you have used, and core subjects. We will have a look at some details in the next slide. Moving ahead, let us see some examples. In your ATS ready resume, you can mention about programming languages, for example, C, C++, Python, web technologies used by you, for example, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, the databases which you might have used, MySQL, Oracle database, or MongoDB, or core subjects which you have studied in your regular courses, for example, DBMS, database management system, operating systems, and OOPS. The next one is projects. Prove what you can do. Freshers are judged mainly on projects, not on experience. So make sure that you mention about as many projects as possible for you in your resume. Use bullet points, what you built, the tools used over there, your contribution to the project, and the net outcome. For example, maybe some student has created a student management system. Then he can mention, developed a web-based application using Python and MySQL to manage student records, enabling CRUD. CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete. These are the operations which are used to improve data processing. By the way, the entire objective of using ATS is collecting keywords. So keywords are the ATS secret weapon. ATS works on keyword matching. Before applying, read the job description carefully, identify repeated words, for example, skills, tools, roles, etc. Naturally include them in your resume. An example is given over there. If JD says Python, SQL, data analysis, your resume must contain these exact terms. Common mistakes which normally students or particularly the freshers commit must be avoided. These mistakes include spelling and grammar errors, using PDF scanned images, writing long paragraphs, adding personal details like religion, caste, or maybe adding your photo to that, or using creative templates, maybe from Canva or any other software. Remember, ATS cannot read creativity, it reads clarity only. So my final advice to the students is, your resume is not fixed. Whenever you apply for a job, you have to revise it, okay? Customize it for every role, update it as you learn new skills, treat it as a living document, and most importantly, a strong resume cannot replace the skills, but a weak resume can hide strong skills. Note it very carefully. If you design your resume for ATS, You can pass the machine very easily, machine test very easily. You can pass the machine test very easily. You can reach the recruiter. You can earn the interview, the chance to learn to appear in an interview. Let the machine select you so the human can hire you. Hyperlink to a resume template will be shared with you by RIT placement cell. If you wish, even the copy of this presentation can be provided to you. And well, thank you, and I wish you all the best for your glittering careers. Thank you very much.